lovelies, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a easy taco soup. Let's start off by putting some olive oil in a pot. I will be using ground chuck and I am going to start to cook it, but not entirely because I'm going to do a slow and low process with this meal. So just make sure you leave it to where it's a little red inside. And yeah, next I will be using this taco mix I got from Trader Joe's. Now you guys, this taco mix is very spicy. I didn't read it correctly until the end. Basically it says to use half if you want to have a more mild taste, or use the whole packet for a very spicy taste. So it's entirely up to your liking. So the next seasoning is this Hidden Valley Ranch packet. Now I know this is a little different and weird, but I'm telling you guys, it makes the dish. It just tastes so good. It just gives it a really good creamy flavor. So I know if you guys don't like ranch, you guys will love it because my husband hates ranch, but he doesn't even taste the ranch in this meal. So it definitely gives a really good taste to the soup. So now mix everything up, and also make sure you scrape the bottom of your pot or pan because that's where all the good stuff is. I am using this cast iron Dutch oven from the Pioneer Woman and I absolutely love it. And yeah, so I'm just mixing it all up and covering it and letting it cook for about 5 minutes. You want to make sure that you don't cook it entirely. So this is actually where I stopped cooking and I set it aside because you still want the juices to be in the beef and you don't want to bite into the meat and it be dry. So once you drain and put the meat to the side, you're going to need some chicken broth and put that in your pot to absorb all the goodness from the bottom of the pan. And I know you're thinking chicken broth when we're making taco soup with beef, it makes no sense, but it just somehow works, you guys, and it just tastes so good. So you'll be needing some tomatoes, dark red kidney beans, black beans, and pinto bean. So I put the tomatoes first in the pot because I like a charred tomato, and I am letting that cook while I start straining the beans. So in some recipes I've seen, people like to leave the juices from the beans in their soup, and that's completely up to you. I just don't like, especially the black beans. You see, that's pretty gross. Like black bean juice just grosses me out. So I like to strain that before I put it there because I don't want to strain the entire juice because the flavors of the beans are delicious. So I don't want to strain them entirely. I just don't want the extra juices to be in the soup. And this is completely up to you guys. It's entirely up to your taste. So yeah. So make sure you shake off all the excess juice, and yeah, that's all for the beans. It's pretty simple, guys. So next is combining everything. So you want to throw the beans into your cooked tomatoes and you just want to add some more broth. This is where you can add as much as you want. Some people like it more soupy while others like it more of a chili consistency. So this is completely up to you, and you just want to make sure you mix up all the beans. Try not to break the beans apart because then it's gonna look kind of mushed up. You don't want refried beans, so just continue to add chicken broth to your liking. So I'm using this 32-ounce broth, and it's the perfect amount because this recipe is a lot and you want to make sure that you have enough broth in there. So now I'm going to add some more taco seasoning and ranch just to give the broth more flavor, and I'm just going to mix it up very slowly to make sure that it absorbs in. So the longer you keep stirring, the more you see the consistency of the broth changing. It's getting more creamy and looking more delicious. So now I am going to add the meat, and I am going to add some more taco seasoning and more ranch. Now the taco seasoning was a little bit spicy, I'm not gonna lie. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so spicy. So I definitely would have added just half of it next time, but it was still delicious nonetheless. So if you guys don't like spicy food, make sure you use half of the packet, or you can also use the Old El Paso taco seasoning. That works perfectly fine as well. So now I'm just mixing it all up. This is the final stir before I let it cook for 25 minutes. So just mix everything up, and now you can see the consistency being a lot more creamy and looking delicious. So now I'm going to just add the top on and let it cook for 25 minutes, slow and low. So midway through, you want to check it out and you want to make sure you give it a little stir just to get everything all cooked evenly and just move it all around. So just stir it for about 20 seconds and give it a good little stir, and just add the top back on and let it cook for the remaining time. So now it's time to plate it up, and I am making a serving for my husband and one for myself. Now for my husband, he doesn't like broth, so I make sure his is very meaty and hearty and manly. So I just add a little broth on top, but for the most part, it's mostly meat and beans and hardly any broth because that's what he likes. And we like this meal with a side of crackers, and yeah, it's a super easy meal, you guys. It's so delicious. Now for my serving, I just get 1 scoop, and I love a soup, especially when it's cold out, so I put a lot of broth in mine. I just love the way broth tastes, and it makes me feel better if I'm feeling sick with my allergies, which is pretty often. And I like to add a little bit of cheese, not too much, and I like these tortilla strips from Archer's Farm, which is in Target. And yeah, this is my serving. I'm super Mexican with it. And I also serve myself with some crackers, and it's so delicious. So that's all for this video, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This was my first recipe video, so I'm so excited and nervous to post this, but I really hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you guys have any requests or recommendations on what you want to see me cook or attempt to cook, please let me know down below. And that's all I have for you guys. So thank you so much for watching. I love you guys so much, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.